what's up everybody? Second room tour, first room tour of 2024, and I just realized when I thought about what to speak about today, it's crazy because there is actually 5 new setups. Not completely new setups, but all the tanks are new compared to the last room tour. So it's definitely worth to stick around and see what's changed. Enjoy the video. Yeah, at first I'd like to talk about I call it 70p, even though there is nothing with 70 in it. It's 60 centimeter wide, 40 deep and 36 centimeters high. It is really uncomplicated. From time to time I have to trim some moss, obviously, but the cool thing is that this tortoise moss is easy to maintain. It's not very fast growing. I also dose very lean here. There is not much fertilizers getting into this tank. There is some algae, especially on the Cyperus helveri that is in there. It's not too bad, but I really need to get rid of some of the longer leaves now because they really attached some brush algae. Apart from that, there is some Apistogramma in here that I really like. I'm not entirely sure why my Apistogramma inca here, he is always very dark in this tank. This changed after I introduced him into this tank, and I'm not entirely sure what is really causing it. And the cool thing is that this is the 3rd generation that I keep already. Then there is some Nanostomos marginatus in there. I really love this small pencil fish. They are amazing. I got them really small and they finally get some more color. They don't look as juvenile anymore, even though they still are very small. And there is also the Nanostomos Back 40 Super Red I got from Zoobox. And then there is some Tucano tetras in there as well. Yeah, it's kind of a community tank, but really nice working. It's not too, I'd say, mixed up overall. I really have to get some I don't know, maybe you can help me. I'm searching for the suction caps for the Aquario CO2 diffusers. Hopefully this will work better then, because it's every time I attach it, it's loosening again very quickly. Even though I clean the glass, I clean the suction cap itself. I'm using a JBL 902 crystal clear filter, working pretty well with the Rebel inflow skimmer here. It just feels like it's the perfect amount of flow rate of the filter. It's just mesmerizing. Sitting in front of this tank is pretty relaxing. I really like this tank, especially because with 7 tanks, you don't really want to have too much hustle and too much to care about in every tank, and this tank is really helping me with that. Since the question is coming up more regularly, I'm using on all bigger tanks Skylight Hyper Spot, as in this case, or Skylight Hyper Bar. Really happy with the lights, really cool colors, and really cool overall design. Next in line we have this really wild looking Dua Neo Glass Air. It's the 20 by 20 by 20 centimeter tank, and it's surrounded by a glass pot kaku. There's some fish food standing in the back, and there's another custom vessel that I have here on the left with some Liliopsis brasiliensis in there, a really cool plant, especially also for the Wabi Kusa. The grassy plant is also a Liliopsis, it's the Liliopsis macloviana. And on the right, the bigger leaves that you can see here, that is a philodendron, but I don't know the name. So if you know what philodendron this could be, very happy if you could help me out with the name. And there is some of the orchid jewels here, the jewel orchids, orchid jewels, jewel orchids. I don't know exactly which ones these 2 are, but I really like them. And there's also in the glass pot kaku, there's also some of the jewel orchids. It has a self-made lid because it prevents the plants from drying out too quickly. I never had a lid, so I still really love this small little vessel here. What's also new is that I recently changed all my ONF flat nano rose gold to some flat nano plus in black. I really like that. I can easily adjust the light period via the app, so I don't have to use some time controllers in addition. This is the 120p, not my iplc tank. I recently trimmed the tank. I also recreated the pass a bit so it's better visible on the potential final shot I'm going to do soon. But there's some work left. I also have to cut the Ricardia. And yeah, I should have done that way more often. Now it grew really like wobbly, round, and usually if you trim it more often, it's getting more of a hanging growth. The problem that I have with this filter is, how with the skimmer is, that the flow rate of the filter that is working in here, it has a bit too much power, and the problem is that it always sucks in, and then you hear this. What I have to do is I kind of often have to clean the inflow, especially after cleaning and maintenance session and trimming, because there's lots of leaves cloaking in. And what I also did, I can show you that, and that's also helpful to prevent it from getting too worse. You can take out this section, and it's clumped up because I drilled some holes into the lower section, so there is an additional inflow there and it's not sucking from the surface too much, to just make it work without making too much noise or even get sucked in. If I manage to trim the Ricardia this week, it should be possible to take a really sexy final shot of this aquarium in about 3 weeks. The next 2 aquariums are currently my little problem cases, but one after the other. The 45 by 30 by 30 centimeter clear garden is shining quite nicely at the moment, but a closer look reveals some thread algae. I recently vacuumed out the sand in the foreground and replaced it with soil and planted some carpeting plants. I also threw out a branch and completely removed the Bolbites fern. I also recorded all this on video, but let me tell you, it was a disaster. I don't think I've felt this bad about filming something for a long time. To be honest, I feel the same way about the whole scape at the moment. Somehow it's nothing half and nothing whole. I think when the juvenile Galaxy Rasbora are a bit bigger, I will come up with something new here. You'll find out more about the problems and the troubles I had in one of the next videos. So let's quickly move on to something I'd rather talk about. My 2 Dua glass pot maru. They are not only pretty to look at, they are also pretty low maintenance. The same philodendron mini midget is thriving here in both. However, the one in the large glass pot maru has been out of in vitro culture for much longer. I think that in addition to this fact, the smaller container may also be restricting growth somewhat. In addition to the philodendron, I also have planted a jewel orchid in the left, and a bit in the background there is another custom glass planter where I just keep some more of the Marcodes jewel orchids. Do you like these little side projects as much as I do? And the second troublemaker, I am actually much more confident here. This UNS all-in-one cube has been started almost 4 weeks ago now. I was inspired by the plants I used in one of the exhibition aquariums that I created at Tropica in Denmark for the largest B2B animal World Trade Fair Interzoo. At the moment, diatoms and green filamentous algae are spreading, and maybe something else that I haven't really been able to identify yet. But as I said, it's a normal startup algae phase, so I'm confident I'm getting rid of this. Apart from the rotella on the right in the background, I have only planted Echinodorus or former Echinodorus type plants here. Helantium quadricostatus in the foreground, Helantium latifolius in the background, and on the right center side it's Echinodorus red diamond, and to the left some Echinodorus reni. I'm a little worried that it will get lost among all the Helantium. However, once the plants have grown and the red diamond hopefully gets quite tall leaves, I could imagine a better splendens live in here. I recently integrated a heater into the filter chamber, and I also have a cover for the cube. Leave me a comment on what kind of betta you would choose. Number 5 of 6 is the ADA 60p. If you've been following my channel for a while, I published a very detailed video on this scape last week, in which I give you lots of tips from the substrate setup to an almost finished final shot. I don't think I mentioned that the Munchausia pithieri, the diamond tetra, are actually too big for this aquarium. I'm only keeping them in this tank temporarily because I would like to offer these beautiful animals at least 90 cm aquarium length. Apart from that, I added some aerocol and feather duster shortly after the video, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the aquarium develops over the next few weeks. How do you like it? Yes, and where I just showed you this little button of the iplc, there's my iplc tank at the moment. It's cool that there is something growing out, but yeah, since it's my good hidden secret, I won't show you more. It's very much in the state of getting rid of one algae, so I hope it will be looking even a bit better, but it's starting to do already, so I'm really happy about the fact that it's going to work. And here's the window aquarium. So you can see on the left and on the right side some aerocol. Overall the aquarium looks really great, but yeah, it's just bothering me that on the right side here the aerocol Malayator, yeah, it just looks a bit too bristly for my taste and could definitely nestle a little further to the right of the side pane. Apart from that, cleaning is necessary. Yes, it's also a bit more necessary than probably in other tanks because it's getting some daylight. But it's not overly complicated, it's just the usual maintenance. I just try to keep the artificial light time by only 5 hours per day. And yeah, so the tank is getting green, especially the stones. But apart from that, I can keep it quite clean. The Rospora dorsicillata in this tank look absolutely amazing. I would like to restock them, maybe at 6, 8 or maybe even 10 fish, so they have yeah, a bit more friends swimming around, but they are really hard to get at the moment. Drop me a comment in the description if you know where in Germany I can find some. A lot of people are especially pointing on the amount of light that is getting in, especially sunlight. I can say that there is not much sunlight going into this tank. It's north and the sun is setting down here, so there is just maybe 30 minutes, maybe 1 hour of sunlight getting directly into the tank, and that's only happening when the sun is already really low on the horizon and does not have that much power anymore. The Rospora dorsicillata look absolutely adorable in this aquarium. I would like to add another 8 to 12 animals, but unfortunately there is currently no pet shop in Berlin that I know of that currently stocks these fish. Perhaps you have a tip on where I could order some online within Germany at the moment. Would be very appreciated. Yeah, drop me a comment. Thanks a lot. As I have received so many comments on the subject of aquarium on the window, I will be publishing an extra video on this subject soon. And now I have 3 very pretty Wabi Kusa for you left. I almost wanted to give up on this Duaterra. As soon as one of our cats gets near it, the Leopsis macloviana, it's mercilessly nibbled away. Only since the plant is no longer in direct light has it started to stretch out a little more towards the light from the aquascape next to it. Unfortunately, I also have these deposits on the glass, which I have already tried to remove with various agents such as chlorine, citric acid, vinegar and a special polishing paste. As a result, the glass always looks a bit dirty, although it actually really is. It needs a clean, but at the moment the aquarium projects are keeping me quite busy. And now we are going 1 floor up to my office. There are always a few fresh cut flowers here, and I didn't really want to put any aquariums of Wabi Kusa here, but then WNF sent me these 2 practical mistos and I couldn't resist. In the left hand 15 by 15 by 25 cm Dua Neo Glass Air, only a little Micranthium Monte Carlo and Cyanotus are growing at the bottom. But the pretty Gomesa relicans orchid from Brazil is exciting. I need to find a suitable root very quickly so that I can tie it up nicely and close the lid completely. It certainly has a bit more humidity in the rainforest than in an old flat in Berlin. And as always, I've saved the best for the last, my current favorite Wabi Kusa. Super minimalist, super simple,
but somehow magical. You'll find out more in one of the next videos.
Yeah, that basically was the room tour that I could give you by now. I hope you enjoyed it. I would be especially interested in how you think the tanks developed. Which ones do you like better, the version before? Which ones do you like better now? And especially also why? Why do you like it better? I feel like there is some tanks that really need some time, especially the 45P in my opinion needs a lot of time, and also the all-in-one cube, especially because it's really new and has some algae in it, and the plants have to do the work. So it's the first layout I think for a very long time without any hardscape in it. Why did I do that? I'm gonna tell you in another video. I wish you a great week and great weekend, and hope to see you soon. Yeah, subscribe to my channel, very appreciated. I wish you a wonderful day, and now it's weekend for me as well. See you soon, bye.